and your home in East Coast, Canada. Good evening, guys, and good evening to our special co-host for tonight, Catherine Rhodes,
Hi.
aka Spice
Hi, thank you
Rhodes.
for having me.
Ayan, iba talaga pag naka 1K subscribers sa YouTube.
Yes.
We look up to Spice Rhodes. Congratulations on her journey. And what can you say to all of your followers and subscribers, Catherine Rhodes, Spice Rhodes?
First of all, thank you so much for all the support. And to those people who always watch my videos every time I upload, and it's gonna be a very exciting um, chapter after I've reached that 1,000 subscribers. There's gonna be a lot more fun that's going to happen in the next coming months. So just stay tuned.
And you know what's the excitement, diba? When you get an email from YouTube, it's really
Correct.
something else, right? So
Correct.
congratulations, Spice Roads. And tonight we have our promo play live question. Spice Roads, you got it. What's our
Yes.
question for tonight?
So, who was the first Filipino-Canadian senator nominated by Prime Minister Stephen Harper? Yeah, so that's our promo play live question.
And of course, Donick, what's our prize for tonight?
So our prizes for tonight is from Tina Pay. Hold on. From Tina Pay, we have, ano ba yung mga dami natin mga choices eh. So one winner for the Tina Pay choice of one from the list below. Either one ubi cake, 6-inch, or a mocha cake, 6-inch, or one caramel cake, 6-inch, one family tray cheese ensaymada, 15 pieces yun, and then one box of cheese curds rolls, 12 pieces. So call Sharon. Her number is 902-809-2109.
So Tina Pay, courtesy of Sharon, maraming salamat. You know what? Because I overslept tonight, I forgot to pick up the cheese curds roll. So pantay-pantay tayo. Lahat tayo walang cheese curds roll. Ayan, so yan yung good news. Pero bad news, I wasn't able to pick it up. Tina Pay, thank you so much. And of course, guys, you have to make sure to tag 2 of your friends in your answer for that question. Who was the first Filipino-Canadian senator nominated by Prime Minister Stephen Harper? Ayan. So make sure to tag 2 of your friends, like and share this live stream for you to be qualified to win those special goodies courtesy of Tina Pay. Ayan. So very exciting po ang ating gabing ito. Wag na nating patagalin pa. Let's give it up for our East Coast Filipino Portal update. Let's watch this from our East Coast correspondents.
Wait lang bro, naglalag ako.
Naglalag na?
Bro. Naglalag bro yung news. Naglalag bro. Pasok kayo Al. Ihuli natin Al. Al. Naglalag bro.
Comments muna. Basahin natin yung mga comments.
Ayan, sige bro. Live ka na.
There we have it. Just to let you know, we are actually also live on YouTube. So if you haven't subscribed East Coast Filipino Portal on YouTube, please head on to youtube.com/East Coast Filipino Portal. We are very sorry for that technical difficulty. I'd like to send a shout out to all those who are watching right now. Peachy Forbes, she answered Tobias and Verga. So make sure that you tag two of your friends, and of course, like and share this live stream for you to be qualified to win Tinapay goodies courtesy of Sharon. And of course, Jurley answered Tobias and Verga, and she tagged two of her friends. Awesome, great job. And of course, ayan, dito ba ang answer? Sabi ni Jurley, yes, dito po. Dito po sa East Coast Filipino Portal. To all those who are watching right now, to Via Marie, she's watching. We can't wait to be there on the 31st, and we'll be having an event for the following week, that Friday after. So please stay tuned with our mukbang challenge in La Rossi Bistro. Ayan. Ayan. And of course,
It's going to be fun. So we also have some of the people that are watching. So we have on my side, Catherine. She's a co-host. Koji, we miss you, man. We miss you, Koji. And then we also have Joey Moreno when in Halifax. Say, Kat, on your side, who are the people that are watching that are your friends?
Okay. How do I see?
That's okay.
Sorry. Intern.
Yeah.
So,
So, see,
bro, naglalag bro yung yung news. Naglalag talaga bro. Pasok mo na lang yung guest bro.
ayan. Ayan. So ang daming nanonood ngayon. Thank you so much. And of course, this is really a very exciting night because the reason why we have that question, we know that that person, that senator, is a community leader. So tonight, we're gonna have community leaders who are finalists for the 2020 RBC Top Immigrants here in Canada. So it's really very exciting. So I hope that you guys will get to know more about these individuals, these community leaders, and eventually, hopefully, you will go and go to that online website that we'll be sharing later on, and of course, vote for them after knowing who they are. So I think we're gonna start off with Arlene. Catherine, you wanna make that introduction?
Sure.
Please?
So Arlene Ruiz, she's owner of Alexine Immigration and Employment Services Inc. From Saskatoon, country of origin Philippines. So Arlene Ruiz, the proud owner of Alexine Immigration and Employment Services Inc. and an ICCRC and CIPIC member, has been practicing as a licensed immigration consultant and recruiter since December 2013, with the office situated in the heart of Saskatchewan, Saskatoon. Ruiz offers clients a wide variety of immigration services, assisting in permanent residency applications, Canadian citizenship applications, family sponsorship, student permits, visit visas, and more. What sets her business apart is Ruiz's commitment to kindness. As her business logo suggests, she wants to help families fulfill dreams, a desire that effectively personalizes the immigration process. Okay. Incoming immigrants who have found employment through her firm are accommodated from the moment their plane touches down, from a pickup service at the airport to help finding affordable accommodations, to assistance in completing applications for a Saskatchewan health card, a social insurance number, and even a bank account. This personal approach stems in part from Arisa's personal and professional experience. In 1994, before she immigrated to Canada from the Philippines, she underwent the immigration process herself. After working for various organizations, she worked as a flight attendant. Her firsthand experience of the immigration process and her encounters with people from all over the world both equipped and inspired her to help others with the process of immigrating to Canada. Ruiz's warmth, understanding, and rigorous vetting process gets results. Since 2013, she has connected qualified foreign nationals to local Saskatchewan employers with a 98% success rate.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah. Ruiz attended Saskatoon Business College in 1997, where she took Computer Accounting Technician Diploma and graduated with honors. In 2012, she took the one-year Immigration Consultant Diploma through Ashton College in Vancouver and completed a course and graduated with honors distinction. Ruiz is a big advocate on promoting the welfare of others, not only through monetary value, but also by rolling up her sleeves to push for a better community. She actively participates in the community by supporting charitable organizations such as ANCOP, or Answering the Cry of the Poor, Make-A-Wish Foundation, and the Children's Wish Foundation. She is an active member of the Business Network International, Business Elite Network Saskatoon, Women Entrepreneurs of Saskatchewan, and Greater Saskatoon Chamber of Commerce. This year, in light of her continued success, Ruiz has received a Consumer Choice 2020 award in the category of Immigration Consulting category. She has also been recently named as one of the top finalists for the Saskatoon Achievement in Business Excellence Awards, or SABEX, in the Entrepreneur of the Year category, with the gala taking place October 2020. SABEX Awards are Saskatoon's premier business awards honoring businesses in the community that exemplify high performance, quality, and achievement. Ruiz's passion for helping others is very evident whenever she speaks about her job. Family reunification is very important for her and sees her profession as an opportunity to help families fulfill dreams. Yeah.
Let's welcome Arlene Ruiz on East Coast Filipino Portal.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for having me. Thanks for inviting me this afternoon. It is my honor to be here. Salamat sa invitation. I'm truly honored to be here along with the other finalists. And thank you once again for the invitation. I'm happy and humbled to be here this evening.
Awesome. So we'll get to know more about Arlene later on. Actually, online, may nagtatanong na ng contact information. So we'll get back with that. Thank you so much to all those who are watching, and great job, Catherine. And now let's move on to the only thorn amongst the top top immigrants for RBC. Donnie Kabad, you want to do the honor in introducing our next guest?
All right, our next guest, one of the finalists for top 25 RBC Immigrant, Chris Ontong. He's the co-founder of Barangay Canada. He hails from Steinbach, Manitoba, originally from the Philippines. Chris and his family are based in Steinbach, Manitoba, where he has been working in the marketing department of a luxury window and door manufacturer for over 4 years. For his active community advocacy, Ontong was among the awardees in the 2019 National Filipino-Canadian Heritage Event. He was also the finalist for Outstanding Community Service category of the 3rd Golden Balangay Awards, a nationwide search for outstanding Filipinos in Canada. Among his various roles, Ontong is especially focused on Barangay Canada, a media project that seeks to learn and share how newcomer groups across the country are building a life in Canada. By sharing this collective knowledge and experiences, these scattered communities will hopefully be able to connect and support one another like a barangay, the Filipino term for a small, self-supporting village. Typically, Chris visits newcomer communities to interview their leaders. However, due to the travel restrictions and social distancing brought about by the pandemic, actual visits were replaced by online video interviews, thus paving the way for its current format as a video podcast or vodcast. The episodes can be viewed in full or in segments on barangaycanada.com and facebook.com/barangaycanada. Barangay Canada. So far, the program has had notable guests like the provincial legislators, veteran media personalities, local government officials, and even a former cabinet member in the person of Honorable Dr. Reynaldo Pagtakhan. In Manitoba, Chris looks after the provincial chapter known as the Barangay Manitoba. It has a presence in print media as a column in Manitoba Filipino Journal. Please help me welcome Chris Ontong.
Hello, good evening. Good evening to
Hey,
everyone.
Chris.
Thank you for that wonderful intro, Donick.
Thank you, thank you. Pasado ba? Pasado ba?
Pwede na, yeah. You're hired, sir. You are.
Yeah, thank you.
When can you report for work?
Monday.
Good
And
to
hi
see you
also
again,
to
Chris.
Al and to Catherine. And it was great to
Hi.
hear Arlene's voice for the first time.
There you go. And good to see you again, Chris, and welcome to
Great to
East
be here.
Coast Filipino Portal. And at this point in time, our last but not the least, a lot of our women, Filipino women, can definitely relate to her. She's not just a mother. I believe she's a super mom, a grandmother, a business owner, and writer in Edmonton. She's also the president of the Philippine Bayanihan Association, originally from the Philippines, and right now she's residing in Edmonton, Alberta. She came to Fort McMurray, Alberta under the Live-in Caregiver Program, which gave thousands an opportunity to become permanent residents and reunified with their family. Before migrating to Canada, she had a bachelor's degree in psychology from the prestigious Central Escolar University in the Philippines. Right after graduation, she started working in an international freight forwarding company and did many travels to Asia, where she learned about the caregiver program in Canada. She decided to go to Canada in order to give her children a better place to live and create a new life. Although settling in Canada was harder than she imagined, it has given her much more than she expected. She continues to learn new things, confront new challenges, and enjoy new experiences. With this optimistic ambition, she did not realize that she will become more than a caregiver, but she established her own businesses, Assured Cargo International Limited, and Voyable Travel and Tours Incorporated, and became involved in Alberta's Filipino-Canadian community. Her involvement became bigger and wider that it inspired her to write her own journey and publish her book in 2015 called Domestically Yours, a caregiver's inspiring journey. She wrote this to inspire many of her kababayans, countrymen, and it became a bestseller in Amazon under elder care category in 2015. Her immigration story has something in common with countless others amongst the Filipinos. Heartbreaks and hardships with overcoming adversities, and she says she's an example that Filipinos are resilient and persistent. Being an active member of Filipino-Canadian organizations gave her an opportunity to give back, raise funds, attend conferences, and give speeches to various schools to empower children and help them to settle in their new country. She is currently president of the Philippine Bayanihan Association in Alberta, a nonprofit organization in Alberta since 1968. Golden Balangay Awards host ambassador in Alberta, committee member of Philippine Business Society of Alberta, member of the Philippine Arts Council, volunteer of Edmonton Philippine International Center, former PRO of Vismin Association, Bisdak di ay ni si Ani. Vismin Association of Edmonton, former president of Millwoods Vocabularies Toastmasters Club. She was also the winner of Most Outstanding Worker Manggagawang Pilipino of 2017 Golden Balangay Awards in Toronto. During the COVID-19 lockdown, the Philippine Bayanihan Association, under her leadership, initiated the Bayanihan COVID-19 Relief Project, where more than 10 volunteers delivered goods house to house to seniors and those who lost their jobs. At this moment, more than 250 Filipino Canadians have been served in Edmonton and Leduc, Alberta. Their story has been chosen by Premier of Alberta, Jason Kenney, to be profiled as part of the Alberta Northern Lights Volunteer Recognition Program, which provides ongoing recognition of incredible community volunteer stories, no less than Annie Chua Frith. Wow, ang galing. Annie Chua, what can you say?
Hello, good evening, everyone. And thank you so much, East Coast Filipino Portal, for inviting me here in your program. And yeah, along with my co-nominees, Chris Ontong and Arlene Ruiz. Hello sa inyo at yung mga viewers ninyo.
Tim Hortons there.
Sorry.
Ayan. So you guys have a great profile of your life, your leadership, and your love for our fellow countrymen, even here in Canada. So my question, yung pinakapambungad na question as we start off our conversation tonight, and of course, we'd like to invite all those who are watching, if you have any questions, feel free to comment down below for your questions to our RBC Top Immigrants for 2020. So with all of this profile of love for countrymen, of leadership, and of your life here in Canada, and even from the Philippines, what is your greatest motivation to do good? Ayan, nagsimula ng ating pang Miss Universe na ano.
May ganun din sa dulo.
What is your greatest motivation in doing good? Let's start off with our super immigration consultant, Arlene Ruiz.
Well, thank you so much. Well, I think for me, ang pinakang motivation ko talaga is my humble beginning. You know, I came from a very poor family. I think I shared with you guys in our group chat, you know, how as a young child, going into high school, I had to walk to school. Back then, there was no you know, vehicle whatsoever. So I had to walk 52 minutes each way, every day. And that just gave me the determination you know, to push forward for a better education. And after that, of course, yung makatulong sa mga kababayan, because I know how it's like to be a new immigrant to Canada. So nung dumating kami sa Canada, it's not always as what people had envisioned, right? I think pag nasa Pilipinas ka, yung mentality is Canada, it's all great, and you know, magaganda lang yung naisip natin, but you don't see all the other things that comes with it. So you know, like I guess the motivation for me is you know, it comes from my humble beginning, and having the opportunity na makatulong sa mga kababayan natin through this profession is really a great honor for me. Kasi when I see family reunited, that's the icing on the cake as far as my profession, because masarap yung pakiramdam when you do your job, and at the end of the day, you're actually basically helping fulfill their dreams, which is my business slogan, right? Kasi yung isa sa pillar of the Canadian immigration is family reunification, and I think lahat ng aspiring immigrants, you know, have that objective na, you know, some like Annie can attest to it. She came first, and then the rest of her family came, and I'm sure some other family members joined. So yun ang pinakang motivation ko talaga, is going back to my humble beginning.
Wow, Arlene, great answer. A lot of bursting of motivation going on there. Let's hear from Chris Ontong.
Ladies first muna, si Annie muna.
Okay,
I will
Chris.
give way to Annie.
Oh,
Yes.
sige, si Annie. Ay, teka lang, Chris, show namin to pala, East Coast Filipino.
Oo nga pala.
Sige, si Chris Ontong, ano natin, si Chris.
Ako naman.
Ikaw na.
Ako kasi may headset eh. Pero may order kasi ng pizza, kaya...
Sagot mo na ba?
Okay lang, kailangan sagutin ko muna itong order ng pizza eh. Hello, is it pepperoni? No. Ako naman ang motivation ko, to be honest, is more of personal. Kasi hindi naman ako active eh. Since before 2017, I wasn't active in the community. Actually, I was never even active when I was back in the Philippines. But since moving over to Canada, and then naging parent na nga ako, that's when I started thinking, ako siguro midlife crisis or whatever. I was thinking about legacy. What kind of legacy can I leave for my child? Sa ngayon kasi, isa pa lang yung anak namin. Of course, ako gusto ko marami. Ewan ko lang si Mrs. Pero anyway, yun, yung sa mga kids ko, future kids, or sa daughter ko si Lexi, because, well, even though she was born here, yun nga, she's still caught between two worlds, no? So she's a combination of, she's a mixture of culture and heritage ng Philippines and Canada eventually. So I wanted to give her a strong anchor when she grows up so that she would be proud of her mixed heritage. No? And ano yung magagawa ko para doon? And alam naman natin, di ba tayo pagdating natin sa Canada as immigrants, sa Pilipinas, karamihan sa atin titulado. Di ba? Mga doctors, mga engineers, mga nurses, all sorts of degrees, di ba? Even masters. But then, pagdating natin dito, biglang it's all wiped clean. Clean slate lahat. You have to earn that title again by going back to school or writing a challenge exam. So, ang nangyayari tuloy, yung mga immigrants, parang meron silang, so we get survival jobs or jobs that are very far from our field. So, yung mga local Canadians, they have this perception of us that, oh, Filipinos are, barn workers, or Filipinos are this, or Filipinos are retail clerks or whatever. Without knowing na back in the Philippines, we're actually different. Mga managers to, mga executives, right? So, yun nga, parang, so yung mga generation na lumalaki rito, especially yung mga kids natin, they won't be able to know that. You can all just tell them stories, right? So I wanted to give them a strong sense of culture and heritage, and I decided to step up and then be active in the community, give back, and organize yung. It started off with being the head of the Philippine Association dito sa area namin, Steinbach, Manitoba. Not a lot of people know about Steinbach because it's the third largest city in Manitoba. Of course, more well known yung Winnipeg. But yun nga, since we're removed from Winnipeg, so more of rural jobs yung mga nandito, agricultural jobs. So yun yung mga kinukuha ng mga trabaho dito. Although yung parang pinag-aralan talaga ng mga kababayan natin is vastly different. You have to have a living, right? So anyway, so it started with that, and then I wanted to link it's just a 2-year term, and then I wanted to link yung community rito with the more mature community sa Winnipeg. Kasi yun, mas matagal na sila. And yung mga lessons nila, yung mga insights, everything that they've gone through, yung knowledge na yun, yung body of knowledge, that's what's missing from the community here. So instead of us going through the same trials and challenges, why not just benefit from their learnings and then make that connection? So yun, doon nagtuloy-tuloy, and then eventually, yun nga, nagkaroon na nga there's this awareness na there's this thriving Filipino community in Steinbach. And then from then on, naging Barangay Canada na because I thought about, paano kaya ginagawa ng mga ibang community? Kasi we're all scattered around Canada. Marami tayong mga Pinoy, pero we're all scattered, di ba? So how do we make that connection to each other? So I wanted to share kung ano yung mga natutunan or yung mga techniques that made our community successful here in Steinbach. Share that knowledge with other communities kasi they might benefit from that as well. And yung platform na yun is yung Barangay Canada. So, pero if you boil it down, going back to the question, ang talagang motivation ko dyan, yun nga, is to leave something for my family, for my kids, and of course, to build up our community rin kasi we have to lift our community as a whole, di ba? You can't just lift yourself up. Kaya nga, I'm very proud to, whenever we campaign I always mention that there's 5 of us. So if you're
Yes.
thinking of voting for one,
Yes.
vote for all of us as much as possible. Even though we can only vote for 3. Yun yung medyo nakakalungkot dito kasi
Yes.
nagiging competitive. Pero dun sa to those people who are really community-minded, yung talagang mga community advocates, they don't think about competing, di ba?
No.
They want everyone to rise above everything, di ba? Lahat tayo move forward, gano'n. So, natutuwa ako and yun nga, actually, na-interview ko rin si Annie before. I was so honored to meet like a best-selling book author na kababayan, di ba?
Yeah.
And then, of course, si Arlene naman, when I read her profile, I was blown away. She's not just an immigration consultant, pero talagang meron siyang yung parang meron siyang community service-minded na na core to her business. So,
Ayan. So
lumayo na ba yung sagot ko? Kasi yung order ng pizza
You got it.
Ang kulit eh.
Ang galing. No, yung what I like about your answer is that it's very futuristic. You know, it's really stepping up to the challenge and leaving a legacy for the next generation. So, yun, napakagaling. And speaking of Chris Ontong, Blair Morey, sabi niya, "Attaboy, Chris Ontong." And sabi ni Rana Zaman, one of our top fans, sabi niya, "Good evening. Good evening, Rana Zaman." And of course, let's hear from Annie Fred. What's your motivation in doing good?
You're muted.
Okay, yun.
Ayan.
Sabi ko, ano ba ang nag-motivate sa akin? Yeah. Actually, at first, when I came here to Canada, ang nag-motivate sa akin, ang family ko, ang mga anak ko. So, I just wanted to give them a better life. Right? Lahat naman tayo ganun eh, di ba? So, kasi yung pagbibigay mo ng positive impact yung sa gagawin mo rito sa Canada, na-develop lang eh, na-develop eventually. So, yung experience ko as a caregiver, it's really hard, I tell you. But most of the people here na naging caregiver, I suppose nakaka-relate sila sa akin kasi ang hirap talaga. Nagiging emotional ako when it comes to this. Kasi 5 years kong inantay ang mga anak ko. Napakahirap noon, di ba? Excuse me. So, nag-develop lang yung involvement ko sa community kasi I want to help too. At the same time, develop ko rin ang sarili ko. So, yung dream ko na makarating dito mga anak ko, natutulungan ko rin yung kapwa ko, caregiver, na ma-relieve sila dun sa burden na handle nila. So, even kahit hindi naman lahat ng caregiver, right? Kahit custodian, service crew, sa mga fast food chain, mga truck drivers, yun yung mga hirap talaga. Di ko na isasama yung ating mga professionals na dumating dito, immigrants talaga. But then, yung mga low-paying jobs, they struggle, they have the passion to improve their lives. And so I help them. Kaya napublish ako ng book ko kasi for them to be inspired na hindi pala ako hanggang dito lang. I can do something to improve myself.
Wow.
So, yung talent, i-build up mo yun eh. So, kailangan gagawa ka ng step para ma-achieve mo yung dream mo. So, kaya ako naging totally involved sa community. Dahil gusto ko, ang mga anak nila pagdating dito, magkaroon din ng better education. Diba? Na-empower din siya at ma-develop yung mga unique talents nila. Pati rin yung mga caregiver or truck driver, hindi lang hanggang dun eh. They have to step, pwede sila maging business owner like me. So that's what I did. Kasi kung magsisimula sa akin, makikita nila, may inspire sila. Kaya ganun ang ginawa ko. Mahabang kwento. Siguro aabot tayo ng isang linggo, isang buwan. Diba? But a lot of people can really relate to the story. Now, yung pagdating doon sa mga awardees, I'm so humbled and so honored na may mga tao na nakikita yung ginagawa mo sa community. Hindi lang yung for publicity or whatever. Kung hindi, nakikita nila mismo. They could feel it. They could really, relate to it. Kaya, ganun ang ginagawa ko. Ini-invite nila ako to speak in schools, different schools. Na-cancel lang ngayon yung mga lineups of speaking
Dahil
engagements.
sa East Coast na-cancel?
Na-cancel lang siya dahil sa COVID. Pero
Sa COVID,
sabi nila magkakaroon daw ng ulit ng mga schedules. So, yung mga talks about how can I give those children, the benefit na kaya pa lang nilang gawin yun.
Wow. Annie, napaka-inspiring kasi yung bottom line kay Annie is family and of course that selfless virtue na hindi ako caregiver lang. I am a community builder for the future. Napakabigat nun eh. Wow. Very inspiring. You guys are very inspiring. And Chris, I really appreciate that you mentioned that we also contacted the other 2 finalists. However, these are the 3 who are active on Facebook and then they are available as well. So yeah, hopefully we'll be able to contact the other 2. And of course, they're very much open to also relate their story here in East Coast Filipino Portal. Donick and Kat, thank you guys.
So very inspiring, Arlene, Annie, and Chris. I also on the comment I posted in there the website where you could where everyone could vote. So please make sure that you visit in there. I have a question. So all of us came from outside of Canada, right? So when you arrived here, what were the challenges that you encountered, and how were you able to overcome it? Because those are probably the same challenges that new immigrants will be arriving in here. It would be very beneficial for newcomers if we would be able to give them some insights into what are the typical challenges that we would face, and how are we going to be able to overcome those challenges. So let's start now with Annie. If you could share, please.
Yeah, I decided to go to Canada kasi I wanted to give my children a better life, right? And create a new life for them. Kailangan kasi natuto ako maraming bagay, maraming challenges, at maraming mga experiences na before I came over, I know there will be a lot of things that I needed to see na kailangan akong maging determined at saka maging malakas ang loob. I don't know anybody here when I came, and I just moved step by step. Nagkaroon lang ako ng optimistic ambition kasi para sa mga anak ko, para sa pamilya ko. Right? So, hindi ko nga na-realize na sa ganitong work as a caregiver, that was in 2003. Sabi ko, after this program, what am I gonna do? Am I still gonna be a caregiver, or should I do something that will improve my life? And so, challenge ko ang sarili ko na mag-aaral ako. Itingin ako ng ways to improve my current situation at that time. And so, nag-aral ako kasi since freight forwarding at ni-research ko that time na pwede pala akong mag-aral for short period of time. Kasi as a caregiver, you cannot go to school, right? Hindi ka allowed kasi you are in that program. And so for 3 months, I asked immigration kung pwede akong mag-online courses. So that's what I did. 3 months, paputol-putol. But then natapos ko rin in 2 years. Kahit paputol-putol siya, yung program. So, ganun lang ginawa ko. And at the same time, I tried to plan ahead that pagdating ng mga family ko, ng mga anak ko, saan ko sila ilalagay, saan, anong kukunin nilang course, ganon. Of course, as a mother, you want to plan ahead, right? You want to plan a better education for your kid. Like, ang anak ko, ano bang kukunin niya? Although, of course, I'm a big influence to their education, but I still maintain na sila yung mag-decide ng, ng gagawin nila for the rest of their lives in Canada. And that's what I did. Maraming challenges. I'm sure uh, some of us, same story, pero may konting different, ano lang, symmetrics ng story, right? But at the end of the day, ang focus natin is how we are going to improve our lives here in Canada.
Arlene, thank you very much, Annie. That's amazing. Arlene?
I just want to add something to what Annie said. And I, you know, as an immigration consultant, I have to say that I have so much respect for the people that do come to Canada as a caregiver. I have two boys. I'm married. I have two boys, but I can't imagine myself naiiwan ko yung mga anak ko. So kudos to all the caregivers, because it's amazing what you guys do for your family. So I just wanted to say that. I think for me, yung isa sa mga biggest challenges ko when I came to Canada, I was 17 nung dumating ako sa Canada. So that was about 26 years ago. Ang pinakang biggest challenge for me was the adjustment. Weather-wise, I mean, coming from the Philippines to Saskatchewan, I mean, couldn't get any better than that, right? Minus 40, minus 50. It was May when we came, and the people that welcome us at the airport together with my sister, naka-shorts lang sila, and we were just quivering. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And sabi nila, well, this is nothing compared to what's gonna come ahead. So I think, you know, I have so many stories I can share about my first winter in Canada. Like I remember pumunta ako ng the Bay, Hudson Bay store, and I was totally prepared. I went out and bought my very first winter shoes, and I thought it was the best one. My goodness, was I wrong? yung toes ko were literally frozen. So I guess weather is one of the challenges. The other one is yung education. Kasi before I came here, 1 year na ako ng post-secondary sa atin ng university. So I was assuming na pagpunta ko dito, I would be able to continue, you know, yung post-secondary. And so I went to University of Saskatchewan, nag-ask ako if I can continue yung sinimulan kong pag-aaral sa Philippines. Unfortunately, they said I had to go back 1 more year sa high school. So I was really disappointed, and I felt like that 1 year that I had to go back was a waste of time. But you know, as a young person looking back then, I think that's most kids, that's how they would think of it. But when I look at it now, it prepared me into the kind of work that I do right now. So yung education was one of the biggest challenge. And honestly, you know, I went back to high school ng 1 year, and then I took 1 year off to save a little bit of money to go to Saskatoon Business College. And eventually I became a flight attendant, and that sort of paved way doon sa profession na ginagawa ko ngayon. And then eventually I moved back. Actually, being a flight attendant, it gave me the opportunity other parts of Canada. Na I had to move to Toronto, and then to Vancouver, and then back to good old Saskatoon nung nag-asawa na ako. So Saskatoon is home for me. I mean, I you know, Philippines is obviously where my heart is, but for now, this is where my family is. This is where I'm raising my kids. So this is where I'm gonna be for a long haul for now. The other one is culture. You know, like syempre iba talaga yung culture sa atin tsaka dito. So that was one of the areas where I had struggled a little bit. And then the other thing is yun nga, yung language. Kasi although Philippines is a very educated country, hindi naman natin laging ginagamit yung English as an everyday form of communication sa Philippines. So I was struggling a little bit in the beginning, but I think education, that's why I'm always pushing for better education, because it will shape, you know, your future. And that's what I'm trying to tell my kids, because you know, I think education will pave way for a better future, not just for us, but for our children and the future generation. So those are just some of the struggles that I face. But like what Annie said, you know, you sort of decide on what path you're gonna take in your life. And for me, this is the path that that I decided to take. Obviously, I did several works, you know, several jobs prior to becoming an immigration consultant. But when I look back now, you know, nung nag-aaral ako during in 2012, I was also working full-time sa
Wow.
Fast Power. And then my boys were literally small during that time, right? So, you know, I think the determination is really what's pushing everybody to pursue and strive for a better future. And I think that's even though there are challenges and struggles along the way, you decide what you make of, you know, of what's going to be for you in the future. And with the help of my family, my husband, and the determination and the pushing that they're giving me, I'm happy to say that, you know, I've been in this business since 2013. And thank goodness, thank God, I'm still here. And hopefully I continue to be in this business to help more of our kababayans.
Awesome. So before I move to Chris, Arlene, I just wanted to ask, have a follow-up question. How did you fix the frozen feet?
Well, you know, like you know, it was hard. I mean, it was just like I had to buy a new one because I was like, yes, it looked nice, but it's not all about the look, right?
The passion, yeah.
It's gotta have the quality, and I've learned quick.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
I'll give you a more detailed answer on that because you know how my job is. So thanks so much, Arlene.
Thanks, Arlene. Chris, how about you, man?
For myself, I just like to comment first how vastly different yung mga stories namin at with what
Very varied,
Annie shared and what Arlene shared. But that just goes to show you how determined, how resilient, and how resourceful we are as Filipino immigrants, right? I mean, we all have our share of struggles, but then here we are now, and then they're both established professionals right now. Not so sure about myself, but but
You are.
no, but with this, going back to your question, what was the challenge that I initially encountered? Because when we settled here in Steinbach, well, Steinbach back in 2010, it's not as there are not as much career opportunities for somebody like myself and my wife. We had city jobs before we came to Canada. Well, she worked for an advertising firm, and I work for like an IT firm. And like I said, like I explained earlier, so Steinbach is more rural, agricultural, and so forth. But now it's slowly breaking out of that shell. No, but back then it wasn't. And so if I could, I guess if I could distill the challenge back then, it was more of isolation in terms of um, we were there's that separation between ourselves, my wife and I, PG, and the rest of the community here in Steinbach, because there's really no free like a place where like an association can meet together, like have a general meeting or anything. Unlike in Winnipeg, where you have dozens and dozens of libraries that you could just reserve one function room for free, and then you could meet there as an association. Not here, not here. So but you can do that in their respective homes, no. But of course, that's a terrible hassle for whoever owns that home, and a lot of us are in apartments at the time. So it was very difficult. It's the connection that was missing between ourselves and the rest of the community. But props to my uncle, because he was the one who actually sponsored us to come here to Canada. So we had that support, that emotional and family support.
Yeah.
So that was critical. That was critical, especially during the early
Absolutely.
months. Yeah. And then the isolation as well, meaning not just the personal isolation, but the physical isolation, being in a city like this that doesn't have public transportation.
Oh wow.
We don't have buses here. We have taxis, but you have to call them up.
Wow.
And then we don't have any Ubers
Chris.
here. So yeah, so it was a real challenge. So you had to find, you have to scramble and arrange for a carpool when you go to
Mm-hmm.
your workplace. So it's a lot of negotiation that has to happen before you find like a suitable transportation arrangements.
Wow.
So it was really hard. It was really hard. But the key things that were able to help us were the Filipino Association that was
Mm-hmm.
here, and that's why it struck me like early on that this is very helpful because the Filipino Association that was here in Steinbach, they had this practice of welcoming newcomers to the area. They would
Yes.
visit them at their place, and then they would bring like a basket of goodies,
Mm-hmm.
grocery staples. It's more like getting their foot in the door so that they can
Mm-hmm.
chat you up, and then they can give you tips, and then they can help you get your bearings with the place. It
Yeah.
was a major boost for us that we were able to meet the Filipino community representatives that way because we knew
Mm-hmm.
that there was a support system around us. The only challenge was that, like I said, there's no set office that you could visit them. But
Mm-hmm.
thankfully, at the time, or thankfully later on, we had social media. So
Yes.
Yeah.
now you have Facebook. So 24/7, you can just post any question, any concern, and then
Yeah.
definitely somebody's gonna answer you right back. And these are all the ingredients. So when it became my time to be the head of the Philippine Association, I took all
Mm-hmm.
of those learnings and then I made them even better. So
Mm-hmm.
we were able to partner with other agencies so that we could have
Mm-hmm.
more workshops so that people would know more about financial literacy. They would know about how to acclimatize to Canada,
Mm-hmm.
especially those who are coming here in the winter. They're also innocent, right? All you have to do is
Yeah.
just layer clothing. No, not just that. There are other
Yeah.
considerations. So yeah, so all of those learnings, um, we put them all together, and then we share that through
Mm-hmm.
our social media page. And what happened was, so we got lots of positive feedback, and we
Mm-hmm.
increased our membership because they saw the benefit of being
Yeah.
connected to the Filipino community, even if it's just virtual.
Mm-hmm.
So that was one way of overcoming the challenge. So if there's disconnection, there's the isolation there, then you overcome that with finding a way to connect to the community. But on a physical level, because it's a continuing process, diba? I can't say that
Mm-hmm.
I'm already established right now. It's still a process. So
Mm.
uh, what helps me overcome the daily challenges is drawing strength from your family, from your spouse, drawing
Yeah.
strength from your faith, of course, diba? That's key.
Yeah.
Drawing strength from your dreams, your plans. Stay focused. And at one point, I talked to some of the immigrants, some of the newcomers who welcomed, and a lot of them, um, like they admitted that at some point they wanted to just go back to the Philippines.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we also encountered that. We came to that point when you just let's just save enough money for the flight back home, and then just go back and get our old jobs. We
Mm-hmm.
came to that point. But then because of all those other elements that helped us overcome that challenge, that all that burden that was bearing down on us, we
Mm-hmm.
were able to overcome that hump, and then now here we are, and here I am talking to you. I'm
Yes.
very thankful for that.
Thanks for being here. We appreciate you.
And Chris, you know what? After hearing all of their answers, Donick, ang daming questions, ang daming dumadaloy sa aking utak ngayon, anong mga tanong, ang dami. But I just wanna point out this one specific, because Chris Ontong mentioned about the community support. I'd like to mention Esmeraldo Esteban. Sabi niya, good intelligent guests you have right now, and they're very inspiring kababayan from coast to coast to coast of Canada. Cheers. And ang dami eh. So from physical challenges to social to cultural, at the end of the day, it becomes a mental challenge whether you continue to do good or become better with the status quo of your life here in Canada. Let's hear from Catherine Rhodes.
Oh,
Kat.
by the way, sorry. I
Yes.
I just want to point out that we're representing 3 different provinces. You got Saskatchewan,
Yeah.
Alberta, and
Yeah.
friendly
Manitoba.
Manitoba.
Yes, ayan. And of course, supported by East Coast Filipino Portal.
Yes.
Ka, let's hear
Yes.
from you, Ka.
Okay. So I was just listening, right? Your stories on how you overcame all these challenges are truly inspirational to a lot of Filipinos. And on top of that, I could see that you are really passionate on helping our kababayans here in Canada. So I guess at this point, my question is, what is your vision for our kababayans here in your own communities right now, for all of you guys? We can start with Arlene.
Ang masasabi ko lang dyan, I think, we rise up by helping each other. A community is never a community if it's just one person trying to lift it up. We need to support each other. We need to raise awareness so that people are aware of what's happening within the community, within the country, on a national level. And I think if everybody is on the same page, and I'm hoping that our kababayans would, I'm just going to say it, crab mentality, let's put it aside. Like I said earlier, we rise up by lifting each other, encouraging one another. And that's the only hope that I could say is that, let's try and support one another. After all, we're all Filipino-Canadians, right?
That's
and
true.
no one's really going to be pushing forward kung walang suporta ng bawat isa. So,
Mhm.
let's keep that in our head. Kailangan ng bawat isa sa atin. For me personally, I credit my clients because the word of mouth referral, I probably would not be here. I would not be in business for about 6 years if it wasn't for them. And the perfect marketing for me really is word of mouth. If you do good, it comes back to you. So yun lang po masasabi ko kasi I think at the end of the day, if you do good, it comes back to you 1,000-fold, right? So
Awesome.
yun
I
lang.
agree.
I really believe in giving back. I actually have a thing in my office. I have like a plaque that says work hard and be kind. And at the end of the day, sometimes when I'm having a bad day, I just look at that plaque and I keep reminding myself, somebody may be going through something that I don't know. And you just kind of have to step down and think and, take that slow pace and just kind of realize, okay, I really need to just slow down. So ang hope ko talaga po is really, let's just support one another, coast to coast on a national level. I mean, there's nothing else that we can do other than support one another. And that's, it's gonna help everybody elevate, let's tell a story of success and not disappointment.
Positivity.
Yeah. It's,
Ang ganda ng pinoint out ni Arlene is rising up by helping each other, because when we help each other, it's not individual eh. It becomes a community going above the challenges, rising above. It's really nice. And of course, I want to point out sa East Coast po, wala pong crab. May crab pero mostly lobster po kami dito. So
Sarap
Tsaka
yun.
squid, tsaka mackerel.
puro frozen yung nakukuha namin dito sa Saskatchewan.
Ay, nako, dito sa East Coast, gumagalaw pa yung lahat gumagalaw.
Yes, fresh to
Ayan.
fresh.
So, wow, great answer, Arlene, rising up by helping each other.
Mm-hmm. Yan. At
Sinong
si
next?
Miss Annie?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I do agree with what Arlene said. Kailangan talaga tayo magtulungan kasi if we cannot do that, walang magiging community. But if
No.
we come together, and the strength is there. So we have to maintain the momentum of the strength para mas marami tayong maengganyo ng mga kababayan. Kasi most of our kababayan here, gusto nila solo sila eh. Okay? So ayoko makialam dyan. Ganyan. Sila na lang dyan, magulo yan eh. So, what we need to do is educate them na we need to have a big community here. Kasi how many of us here now in Canada? The whole Canada, we're already almost a million.
Yes.
In Alberta alone, we are 175,000. Dito lang sa Edmonton, we're already more than 70,000. So, kaya yung ginagawa namin, we reach out to them. Okay? Instead of them letting them come to us, we reach out to them para ma-feel din nila na, sila pala yung lumalapit sa amin, sila pala yung may ginagagawa. Right? Nakikita nila, and so they will be convinced na mapasama dun sa community. Tsaka, isa pa, sa ibang Filipinos, right? Kailangan kasi, especially the low-paying jobs like house caregivers or drivers or mga crew ng fast food, kailangan ma-figure out talaga kung anong gusto nilang gawin. One thing na kailangan nilang i-brought out is what they're passionate about. Kasi yung passion very critical eh. If you're not passionate about what you're doing, it won't last. Diba? If you wanted to be on that level, you can be on that level, that's okay. But, there's something in you that will bring out yung talent mo, right? You can share it to the community. So, example lang, pag-put up ng business. Ang dami nagpo-put up ng business here. Especially at this time of pandemic. Ang daming nagluluto-luto, right? Nagbebenta sa labas. But then, they have to have a proper education on how to do it. Not just doing it. They have to go through a certain permit, food handling, whatever training they need to do. So that kung sila ay masita, they have the necessary documents na mapapakita nila na ito is very legal. So, and also, it's not just about making money. You have to love what you're doing. Then, ang nagagawa nilang dito is to do your research. How are you gonna go about it? And also, what is your exit strategy? When I had my clothing store for 10 years in one of the malls here in Edmonton, everybody thought that it was owned by East Indian. They never thought it was a Filipino who owned it. For 10 years, I had that. So, kasi hindi naman nila ako nakita everyday doon. Ang mga staff ko is some Filipinos and some are East Indian and Sri Lankan. Those first-time immigrants, I helped them. They didn't know how to speak well in English, but they developed because of the interaction among the customers and them. And so now, they were so glad that I helped them. Kasi, it's so hard when you immigrate here, you have a language barrier. So, kailangan na talaga, within the communities, not only the Filipino community, magtulungan lahat para lahat masaya, right? And one thing too is when you do a business or something that you wanted to do, you have to know what your exit strategy. Kasi kung meron kang fallback plan, hindi ka hindi ka mahihirapan. Like when the retail industry falls, nagsarado ang Sears, nagsarado ang Target, sabi ko, oh my God, what am I gonna do with my business? It's really falling down. And so, I left it that way, I exit, but then, nag-build up ako ulit na another business. So, people needs to do that way. Kung meron kang, example like mga Filipino dito, right? They have 2 jobs. Kung mawala ang isa, they have another one. So, ganun din sa business. If you have one business, you have to have a fallback plan. And of course, you cannot focus on one thing only. Lalo na ngayon, um, very ano na tayo, multitasking. Diba?
Mhm.
It's very common sa mga Pinoy. Uh, kung hindi mag, uh, if one job doesn't work, then they can have another job to go to. We are all multi-talented. We are all, very um, resilient. Now we can easily adjust to a certain situation. And so when when we have some problems that come up, then we can solve another one. We can solve
Mhm.
one and then go on to the other one. So that's what I wanted to tell everybody. Na hindi lang hanggang diyan ka. I have
Mhm.
seen a lot of Filipinos struggling, especially nowadays. It's really hard. They lost a job. What about their mortgage, their car payments?
All the bills.
Uh,
Yeah.
uh, lahat yan, nagpapatong-patong. And so, mentally, mahihirapan talaga. But what about joining a community wherein you can also help others na at least ma-relieve man lang kahit na um, spiritually, di ba? Kung hindi ka makatulong financially, right? Maybe you can give them some other advice. So, that's what I wanted to really share sa ating mga kababayan.
Mhm.
Ani,
Awesome.
maganda yung bro yung minention ni Ani about um, apprehensions in joining community activities or events. The greatest answer I've heard so far is from Annie Frith. Sabi niya, to all those Filipinos who are apprehensive of joining and becoming part of the community here in Canada, educate them. I like that. That's very empowering. Thank you so much, Annie, for that.
Thank you, Annie.
Sino na? Si Chris na
And
ba?
yung last natin si Chris.
Si Chris.
Okay. So same question, right? So it's
Yes.
what's our vision for the Filipino community? For me, actually, it's that vision is what Barangay Canada is all about. The media project that I'm involved with, Barangay Canada, it's the logical consequence of this stint of advocating for the community, starting with being the president of the Philippine Association and then connecting with other kababayan communities across Canada, because the main idea there is to share that knowledge of how to integrate effectively with the rest of Canadian society. Because we can't keep to ourselves. So it's the same idea as what Annie is saying. You can't just keep to yourself because we're here in a country that celebrates diversity, multiculturalism. You can still hold on to your culture and heritage and be part of the larger society. So that way we can celebrate the best of all the cultures and heritage that are around us, diba? That way you broaden your horizon. You're not just limiting yourself. So that's what Barangay Canada is all about. And aside from that, Barangay Canada is about learning how to be a better community. And by better, that means how to be inclusive, you know, giving equal opportunities for everyone, and how to be respectful of one another. So that goes for everyone, not just our community, but for the whole Canadian society. And that's why I used Barangay Canada as the name, because barangay is no longer like exclusively Filipino. It's now found in the English dictionary. And what it means for our Canadian viewers out there, barangays refers to a small Filipino village or small village in the Philippine language, and which is the same thing as Canada, because it came from Kanata, which is the
Mhm.
indigenous word for small village. So you put them together, it's a redundancy, but it's an emphasis on community-minded thinking. Let's move forward as a community. Let's learn to be like a well-functioning community, and we should also learn how to be a sustainable community, di ba? That is the reason why we are in a pandemic right now, because we're not learning to be. We haven't perfected yet how to be a sustainable community, di ba? That's why some people would have would try exotic animals, and then there's so many dangerous pathogens that are in those animals, because we're slowly exhausting the food supply. So yeah, before we move, I'm gonna touch a bit on science fiction here, right? Because right now, as we
Mhm.
talk, Elon Musk and all the other corporations are preparing to launch missions to Mars, explore, setting up a colony on the moon. And why? Because there's too many people on Earth. So before we do that, before we move on to the stars, before we move on to to the rest of the solar system, first we have to learn to be a well-functioning community, diba? Otherwise, we're gonna repeat the same mistakes when we go out there. If you're not
Definitely.
sustainable here,
Mhm.
don't expect, don't expect to be successful elsewhere in the
Yeah.
solar. And I'm just thinking that way. So medyo far-reaching. Sorry, but
Yeah.
pulling it back, Barangay
Actually, Chris,
Canada,
yeah.
sustainable community.
Actually, Chris, tama yung pinopoint out mo. Introspectively, as Filipinos, we cannot go outside of ourselves without really knowing who you are and what you can do. Because if you don't know who you are and you don't know what you can do, and then what's the point of what you're doing right now?
Right.
So that's why very inspiring yung talk na to. Too bad very short lang yung time natin, but I
Mhm.
really want to send a special shout out to Miles Sardenia of ANCOP, Nova Scotia team. Sabi niya, rise up by lifting each other. That's very awesome. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. Great point, Miss Annie. And of course, I'd like to send a very special shout out to Jerly. Sabi ni Jerly, dapat daw may sharer badge to qualify to win for our promo play live question for tonight to win Tinape goodies. Ayan. So
Mhm.
what's our question, Kath, for tonight? Sa lahat ng mga nanonood.
Okay. So question again, who was the first Filipino-Canadian senator nominated by Prime Minister Stephen Harper? Ayan.
Ayan. So if you know the answer, comment it with your by tagging, of course, two of your friends and get to win mocha cake, caramel cake, family tray cheese and saimada, or yung hindi ko nakuhang cheese curds roll. Ayan. So thank you so much, Sharon. So if you want to order her, want to order her goodies, not her, but the goodies from Sharon, contact 902-809-2109. Ayan. And of course, we have reached the point where we will be giving Chris Ontong, Arlene Ruiz, and Annie Frith the opportunity to invite Canada on supporting you guys for your journey as top immigrants for RBC 2020. Let's start off with nag-iisang si Chris Ontong and then Arlene and then Anne.
Yun, thank you again to East Coast Filipino Portal and to the whole team, Al, Donnie, Catherine, and behind the scenes, si Joey. Yeah, for having us, for putting up with us all our questions before this program. And I also like to thank, of course, my my co-finalists, si Arlene and si Annie, because where you when you're serving the community, I don't like to say that actually. I'm just giving back to the community naman. I don't like serving the community. When you're doing this thing that we're doing, maybe I'll put it that way.
Siguro
Uh,
when you are being a sustainable part of the
yeah,
community.
yeah, something like that. When you're giving back, when you're volunteering for the community, uh, we actually, or I actually draw. I'm sure this is the same thinking for a lot of them. We draw strength from each other. I'm inspired by people who are like-minded. Like I'm inspired by Annie, by Arlene, and our two other kababayans that we're not able to connect to. But looking at their profiles, it's very inspiring then. Yeah.
Hmm.
So I would invite all of our kababayans to check out those profiles of the two other Filipino finalists in the RBC Top 25 Canadian Immigrant Awards. And while you're doing that, check out din yung profile ng mga ibang of the other finalists, because I'm guaranteeing that you're going to be blown away, because this is not just about us being Filipinos. we have to open up our minds that we're an immigrant community, so we also have to be open to the other ethnic groups, right? So look at their and you know we all of their achievements, the collective achievements of all the finalists here. These are our achievements as immigrants, diba? Use them as an inspiration to be able to move forward and to accomplish more. So yun lang. So when it comes to voting, actually for myself, I'm not really saying like, oh, vote for me, vote for me. No, just think, just look at the profiles and whoever you want to vote, as long as we have more kababayans in the top 25, because we definitely need more representation so that future generations can look up to those kababayans. Oh, yeah, we are also like one of the excellent ethnic groups here. Just take a look at the RBC top 25, right? That's not to be me. That's not to be me. I'm already happy being here and meeting all these amazing co-finalists and also meeting people like yourselves, East Coast Filipino Portal.
Thank you.
So kudos for what you're doing there in ECFP. Mabuhay!
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chris.
All right. Once again, salamat sa East Coast Filipino Portal. Thank you for inviting me. I'm really happy na invite nyo ako. It's a great opportunity. And to be quite honest, until such time you guys sent the invitation, I've never heard of East Coast Filipino Portal. So it raises awareness. Doing this is great because now I would be following you guys on Facebook Live every time you show on Friday night. So again, to be included in the top 75 is already an honor. And to be included on the top 25, I would be elated. Like, it would be such an honor to represent Saskatchewan, the city of Saskatoon on the national stage. And, I was looking at the profile of my fellow kababayans, and I was just like, wow. I'm only like this compared to what they have accomplished. But you know what? I'm inspired by you guys. It gives me so much motivation. I look at yung involvement ninyo sa community, and I'm thinking then I have to be more involved in the community. And it's such an encouragement, like not just the Filipino bios. I look at the other ones, and it's amazing. Canada is truly a country that celebrates diversity and inclusion, and I'm very happy to be living here. Like, if you ask me, there is nowhere else I'd rather be right now, aside from the fact that my family is here, of course. But I'm really grateful for the opportunity na binigay nung kapatid ko na kumuha sa amin. I would like to note that she also came as a caregiver, just like Annie, when in 1989. So that paved way for us to experience so much opportunity in this country. So I'm just inviting our kababayans to not only vote for me, like what Chris said, look at everybody's bios, and whoever your desires tells you to vote, go for it. And I'm just truly happy na nakasama ako sa top 75. It's already an honor to me. I'm already a winner. I don't know how about you guys, but that's how I feel. And also, I'd like to note Alexine Immigration, which is my immigration consulting firm, is also included in the Settlement Agency Award. So
I saw that. Yes, I did see that. Yeah.
So
awesome. Great job, Arlene.
Throw it out there, and congratulations to all the nominees, to the finalists. And once again, thank you to East Coast Filipino Portal. You'll be seeing me following you guys every Friday now.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. And of course, last but not the least, Annie Fred.
Yeah, I thank you so much, East Coast Filipino Portal, for gracing us here in your network. I used to be a host with the Filipino Portal in Winnipeg. That was for 5 years. I was in there. Yeah, but I quit doing it because I became so busy with the community. So that's why we have to focus on one thing. Okay, so I'm really honored that andito yung ating mga kasama sa top 75, si Chris Ontong, si Arlene Ruiz, and two others, na sana manalo tayong lahat. So the question is, why would you vote for us? Okay, aside from being a Filipino-Canadian, I believe that we have a positive impact in our community. We inspire them to become somebody in this new country we call home. And this dream can easily be reachable if we work hard, even if we started as a low paying job, a caregiver, a student, service crew, or uh, any other job. But these are just a stepping stone that we can improve our lives. And of course, by following our passion, whether in business or talents or innovation, and of course, all these nominees, okay, and also previous winners. There are lots of winners now already within our community in this RBC Immigration Distinction Award, because everybody believes in advocating on something. I myself believe in advocating for children to have a better education, to empower them and develop their unique creative talents and abilities. So that's the reason why mini-mentor ko sila. Okay? I provide talk, webinar, and seminars by teaching them that Canada has an equal opportunity and can practice any profession that they would like to be. And at the same time, providing the social environment, a good social environment, and connecting them as a member of our own community of shared values. Diba? So, isa pa is all of us here, including all of you guys in East Coast portal.
Kasama kami.
Oh, kasama kayo. Kasi this is your passion. This is what you love to do. So that's why you're sharing it to the community. So once you have this passion and focus on it, it will grow. Eventually, it will grow, really. Like kayo, kailan kayo nag-start, right? Probably 3 years, 5 years ago. And now,
Last year lang po. Last
oh,
year.
last year, see? Last year. And so now you're growing like nationally, right? So this is just a small step. And of course, we will always move forward in a very optimistic way. And of course, advice ko lang sa ating mga kababayan, we always pray to God and ask for guidance. Kasi
Amen.
yun lang naman na magbibigay sa atin ng strength and continue towards the mga goals natin, focus tayo, attentive, and doon sa ating mga ginagawa. Of course, we have to face all the consequences. And we have to be strong. And one thing I wanted to share is if you want to be inspired by by coming over here in Canada, for those of you, like a lot of our kababayans wanted to come out from the Philippines and come to Canada, but they don't know how to do it, you can or read my book. Here's my book, Domestically Yours, A Caregiver's Inspiring Journey. Yan. So, pinablish ko to in 2015. At marami po akong na-inspire. Hindi ko lang ito madala sa Philippines kasi this is published in Canada and North America. So, at saka nasa Amazon siya. Wala pa kasi siya sa Amazon, Amazon sa Philippines. I don't know how to get it there, but hopefully, eventually, i-share natin yan. And I would like to give you a quote that I put here. I-share ko lang sa inyo. Okay, this is a quote dedicated to all aspiring people on earth. It takes a strong gut to reach for a dream. With an extraordinary effort and a strong conviction to God, nothing is impossible. Indeed, God can move mountains, create stars, new stars like us, walk on the water, and can do anything powerful. It does not matter. Dreams can be achieved if you truly believe in Him and in thyself. Put Him in the center of your life, and no ordinary means can stop you. God is always good.
Amen.
From me. Thank you so much, Senor.
Wow, very, very inspiring. Sabi ko, nasa isip ko is family, faith, and Filipino values and virtues will take us a long, long way. And I'm really Right now, I'm very proud of you guys. 75 finalists. Only a third of it will go through to the top 25. And right now, I can feel the success and I feel the hope and the dream that it will really happen. Annie, Arlene, and Chris, thank you for making us very, very proud tonight. Mabuhay po kayo. Congratulations.
Thank you very much for representing us.
Yes.
Thank you,
guys.
guys.
We will win.
Yes.
Yes. Ayan, wow. By far, I would think, no offense from the previous episodes, pero we are starting another chapter of East Coast Filipino Portal. Moving forward, I think for the year 2 of East Coast Filipino Portal, nag-share nga kami ni Kate, nag-chat kami. I think this is one of the most inspiring episodes. Wow.
Correct.
Wow.
Correct. And I couldn't believe na marami pala tayong ganitong kababayan dito sa Canada. And I'm just proud to be a Filipino here in Canada because of you guys. Thank you.
Grabe, grabe. Ang
Thank
daming
you.
nagko-comment ngayon. Sabi ni Jerly, mabuhay Miss Arlene, Miss Annie, and Sir Chris. And sabi naman ni Yvonne, mabuhay po sa lahat ng finalists. God is good, sabi ni Jerly. And of course, sa lahat ng mga nanonood pa, please join in our promo play live question for tonight for you to win goodies from Tinape. Ayan. So our question, who was the first Filipino-Canadian senator nominated by Prime Minister Stephen Harper? Ayan. Thank you so much. Meron pa nag-comment. Oh, Rana Zaman said, congratulations to the nominees for achieving the top 75 in Canada. Best of luck to all of you. And thank you, Rana, for always supporting East Coast Filipino Portal. And Donick, what's the website for them to vote for our finalists?
The website is Canada's-top-25, the number 25-immigrants/vote.
Ayan. So just go to canadianimmigrant.ca and search from there Canada's top 25 immigrants. Ayan, there we have it.
Bro, sa screen, bro.
Ayan.
May final question lang ako. Can Filipinos in the Philippines vote? Or kailangan yung mga nandito lang sa Canada?
Try nila, try nila.
Try na.
Yeah.
Try
Kasi
nila.
I'm
Of
thinking of sharing this to my other network social media accounts. So para mas maraming votes.
Yeah, because I think it's out in the open, and like the World Wide Web is a global engagement, so anybody I believe can vote. So feel free to check out canadianimmigrant.ca/Canada's top 25 immigrants. Ayan, maraming salamat to all those who have tuned in. We're so napaka-overwhelming, no, to know that there are Filipinos who are rising above the challenge. You know, coming to Canada is not just a mental decision. It's really a physical, psychological, social, cultural hurdles that we have to overcome. And at the end of the day, if we do good and even better, we will be successful.
Yep.
True.
Ayan.
Sounds good.
Ayan, ang daming ayan, pinopost ni
Alright.
Joey ngayon yung mga pangalan. Ayan, thank you so much and congratulations to all the 75 finalists. Ayan.
Congratulations.
Right now, Donick, ito na yung pinakaihintay ng ating mga viewers, ang ating promo play live raffle.
Yes.
Ayan na, bro.
Direct Joey.
Alright. Iikot na. Spinning. Eto na. Ang nanalo ay...
And the
Who will
winner
get
is...
to win?
Tita
Who will
Pichi.
get to win, Tinape?
Tita Pichi, bro.
Ayan, Peachy Forbes, congratulations! And because Peachy Forbes won tonight, please support my journey with answering the cry of poverty. Answer the cry of the poor. Visit my Facebook page, that's Al Landing In. Go there and I've posted the link. Please support my journey in helping our fellow kababayans in the Philippines. especially the poor family, to have their own home and be able to send kids to school when it's already permitted after the COVID situation. Ayan, so congratulations, Peachy Forbes. You have won one goodie from Tina Pe, courtesy of Sharon. Ayan, so if you guys are interested, call Sharon at 902-809-2109. Once again, Catherine Rhodes, Spice Rhodes on YouTube. Maraming salamat. Thank you for being
Thank you very
part of our
much.
night.
Thank you for having me. This is a good exposure.
Good
Great
experience.
experience. Yes, and maganda yung episode natin tonight. So I'm very thankful and grateful for this. Thank you.
Awesome.
Kasi si Kath, di ba, newcomer. So parang nakaka-inspire. If you're a newcomer, you would feel, wow, nakaka-proud maging Pinoy.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Ayan. So once again, guys, this has been your kababayan, your friend, Al, landing in
Donnie Gabad,
Spice Roads.
here on East Coast,
East Coast Filipino
Portal.
Portal.
Bye, guys. Maraming salamat.
Bye.
This is your YMCA Peace Medal award.
Thank you, Kath.
Thank you, Kat. Bro, kailangan kong may meeting ako 9:30.
Sure, late
9:35
ka
na.
na. Late ka
9:35
na.
na.
Kat, maraming salamat.
You
Good
welcome.
night. Thanks,
Yan na
Joey.
bro, na-stop ko na yung streaming.
Thanks, Joey. Kinat ko na kasi parang